Megan Edwards of Focus Communications, and today we're getting the first update of the year from Patrick Highsmith, President and CEO of Timberline Resources. Timberline trades on the OTCQB under the symbol TLRS and the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol TBR. Patrick, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Good morning, Megan. Thanks for having me.
Now, firstly, could you give us an overview of your flagship Eureka Gold project in Nevada?
Yes, Timberline is a pure play on gold and silver exploration. We're focused 100% in Nevada. Importantly, Megan, there's a lot of companies working in Nevada. We are on trend. We have huge land holdings on the Battle Mountain Eureka trend, and most particularly, of course, our Eureka project. But you look around Nevada, you want to be on these major trends. Timberline's there. We've got a large land holding there, 70 square kilometers. We're going to talk about Eureka today. We have a couple of other projects as well. We also are fully permitted for drilling. We have a foundational resource there of about 500,000 ounces of gold. We're not going to talk about those things today, the resource itself, but most people have been tracking us because of the recent drilling we've done at the Waterwell Zone. Same project, just a few kilometers south of where we're going to focus on today. At Waterwell, we've drilled a number of really nice intercepts of plus 3 gram per ton, higher grade gold mineralization over the last 2 seasons. We're super excited about that. But as I said, 70 square kilometers. We believe this project has the potential to host more than 5 million ounces of gold here. And we have a couple of other targets. The Windfall trend, we're going to be talking a little bit about that later in the year with Carlin type gold there. But the news this week is from a property, part of our property, called New York Canyon. Showing some background slides here. Here's an overview of the Lookout Mountain resource and the resource there as published and disclosed under 43101 back in 2013. But this is the slide I wanted to get to because it shows our whole land position sitting over the top of a color-coded geologic map. And we've been talking for really the last couple of years about the significance of this as a gold belt. As you can see here on this slide, Megan, the Eureka gold belt there. And of course, when we're drilling down at our Waterwell Zone and along the Lookout Mountain trend down to the southwest on this slide, that's really what we're drilling is Carlin type gold. But here in the Northeast and today, the Northeast part of the property, we've announced some results. We're going to focus at a place called New York Canyon.
Patrick, could you run us through this area of Eureka and perhaps some of the results from today's announcement?
Indeed. We're talking about the northern part of our property up here, the northeast part of the property, an area called New York Canyon. When you're this far up to the north on our project, as you can see from the map, you're quite close to I-80 Gold Corporation's Ruby Hill mine. It's about 3 kilometers to the northwest. Paycor is exploring over at the Fad Shaft. That's only a couple of kilometers to our west. And I've just put a red block there around this New York Canyon part of the property. Now, what's really important to remember about this particular area is when you're in the northern part of our property, this is really a throwback to the old Eureka Silver District. And up here in the north, as I'll show on the next slide, we're really in the guts of what was previously known as the Eureka Silver District. Now, it varies the exact definition of that, but I've just drawn a blue dashed line on this slide, Megan, that shows more or less where a lot of the silver mining took place starting in the late 1800s. And you can see our New York Canyon claim block is right in the midst of that. And that comes with some different geology. But as you can see from these results we announced today, these are some highlighted rock sample results. Mostly this is Timberline's work here, but we cited a little bit of exploration from previous mining companies in the area. We'll talk more about that when we zoom in on it. But you can see not only are there some really high-grade silver numbers we announced today, up to 750 grams per ton, but a lot of samples in the plus 250 gram per ton range as highlighted here. But look at those gold numbers also. 15 grams, 22 grams, all the way up to 55 grams per ton. And that was the highlight of the news today. The other significance in the news today is that this claim block that we've controlled for some time had a few internal patented claims, which have been controlled by private interests for decades and hence unavailable for exploration. We've now acquired control of that claim block and have set ourselves up to begin to work on those patented claims, which include historic mines that date back to the heyday of that 1870s, 1880s silver mining district.
We've talked about the history of the Eureka district and how high-grade silver production gave its worldwide recognition. You've hit silver mineralization around the Waterwell Zone, I-80, and it's hitting silver around the old open pit and at depth in the CRD-type mineralization at Ruby Hill. And now you've had some early success in following up on historic work at New York Canyon. Patrick, from a geologic perspective, what's going on here?
Well, there's a lot going on geologically. And just right up front, I'll say that when we see these silver numbers and the gold numbers, not only are we reminded of what I-80 Gold is drilling to the northwest of us here, but we really see both the presence of what we call carbonate replacement deposits here, the silver, the lead, the zinc, but also that high-grade gold probably suggests the presence of a Carlin-type gold system. Now, in this area, I've zoomed in a little bit more so we can see this target area in detail. In red there, you can see the road coming right through the property here. I'll just highlight that a little bit. This road right here comes right through our property and through the patented claims and gives us great access to the property. You can even, if you look closely up here in the northeast side of the slide, you can actually see a field office and core shed right up in there in the very far north of the property. So just really literally less than a 5-minute drive from our field office to this area. So great infrastructure. And we've highlighted, again, 3 of the historic mines here, Megan, the 76 mine, the Eureka mine, the Eureka Giant. These were literally among the first claims staked in the Eureka district. And just faintly on this slide, outlined in red, are the patented claims, some of which we've recently acquired. So you can see these triangles are historic rock samples taken by previous explorers of the property, and we're not relying on those because we've gone out and taken in circles our modern data to verify those results. And you can see a smattering of the high gold and silver results cited on this slide. So that gives us an idea that there's a corridor in the northern part of the valley. It kind of has a northwest trend to it, right through here I'm talking about, where a lot of the high-grade silver and gold has concentrated. You can also see the black dots around the property are historical drill holes drilled by other mining companies which have not been able to access many of these patented claims and have not drilled in the areas that we're speaking about with these high-grade rock samples. So great access, a really nice concentration of high-grade gold and silver, and both historical data and modern data verifying these exciting results. So switching into the geology a bit more, we're showing both the gold and silver on this slide, Megan. And again, we've used class postings here. The triangles are historical data, which we've verified with the data that we've collected shown in circles. And a lot of the same type of results, high silver. On the right-hand side, you can see many of the high silvers. And on the left, some of the high gold values are highlighted there in warm colors, and we've labeled a few of those. Speaking about the geology, these figures show nicely both the gold and silver rock samples in this area over a geologic map. And there's really 2 key points about geology. One is this purple unit in the north here is called Hanson Creek. And that's an excellent host rock in Nevada for Carlin-type gold deposits elsewhere in the state, such as at the Jarrett Canyon mine to the northeast from here. But in this area, you'll note that it's highly mineralized with both gold and silver, and it's probably related to these northwest trending faults that run through this area, like here, and that the gold and silver may well be associated with those cross-cutting faults. But really, we have near-surface targets and deeper targets, and that's really tied to a good understanding of the geology that we're currently developing on the target.
And I know it's early days on this target, but what are the next steps in this area of Eureka?
Well, frankly, we expect to be drilling here in the spring, Megan. We're super excited. As I said, the access is fantastic. We control patented claims, which make permitting much quicker and easier. These targets are shallow, so therefore we can anticipate a fairly low-cost drilling program to test the upper reaches of this and even the deeper targets. We're quite excited about things maybe only 200 meters down. So The reason you would do that, and think about the deeper target, Megan, is there's these other favorable host rocks, the Goodwin and the 9 Mile, which are important host rocks up at the Ruby Hill mine, which dip to the east underneath this high-grade stuff we see at surface. So therefore, you'd come in and drill not only the surface target, but test a little bit deeper to see what those great host rocks might have taken up by these cross-cutting systems we see showing up at surface. So there's a lot of interest both in deeper mineralization and the shallower. And with all the interest in this district in polymetallic deposits now, I mean, I-80 Gold has even been discussing building a processing plant with a concentrator to produce that silver, lead, zinc in the future. We are definitely going to include this into a larger drill program for Timberline in 2023.
Thank you so much for your time today, Patrick. Have a great day, and we look forward to having you back on soon with more updates from Timberline.
Thanks very much. We'll be back and keep you posted on as this new target as we advance it.